Hey guys, Mica Galvão here, just to showcase, I believe that one of my favorite passes ever, which is going to be the body lock pass. And the reason why I brought body lock pass here is simply because it's such a reliable, simple, and very easy to transition between positions situation on. The body lock pass, as I said, is something that it's easy to transition between situations because literally you can have it on the standing position, you can have it on the bottom, you can have it to use for back attacks. And that's what I believe that I do the most when I'm on my matches. I do a lot of scrambles, and you see that I'm not the only person that believes that. You see some very high up names on the heavier division using the body lock pass to set up takedowns, and within the takedowns, get to a pass or, as I said, to a back attack. I'll show some example just so you understand a little bit. So for example, as I said, the body lock, as soon as you get in here, there's a few things that I really like to work on. So first one, you're gonna see that my grip, the favorite one that I'm gonna be working with is gonna be this ass grip, because this allows me to have a lot of mobility, but also allows me to have a little more range, principally if you're working with someone bigger, because then your arms, if you have short arms like me, you will be able to grab a little more of them. So within this grip in here, I'm able to sometimes take them down, and then within the takedown, I can either get the full pass or end up on a situation where I'm already on the body lock, but very advanced to start my pass. Or secondly, within the body lock, you see yourself grabbing and sometimes having an opportunity to go straight up for a back attack from there, or from the pass, where sometimes the guys try to defend your position. We're not going to be working a lot on the top situation. We're going to be working on the bottom. But I just wanted to, open up your minds a little bit to understand how it's like such a broad position that you can use in many situations. The reason, as I said, the reason why I chose body lock pass is because I use it a lot, including since the start of my career in the no-gi, in 2021 when I fought the Who's Number One open weight. Had some very tough matches, when I fought William Tackett, I was able to use this pass, or just on the recently done competition CGI, I was also able to do it on my second match against Lucas Hulk. So no matter if you're big, if you're small, if you're slow, strong, fast, or weak, you're going to be able to do this pass. But there's also some very little details there that will allow you to make sure that you can get to the end of the position without a lot of trouble. So first off, the reason why I like to work on this pass, remember, no-gi nowadays, there's a lot of people that like to do some entangling for leg attacks, for sweeps, to get on top and start working their passes also. The body lock pass kind of protects you from that situation. It prevents them from getting close to you, allows you to have a little more control over them, and sometimes if you're a little out of breath, slow down the pace of the match and start working on your game progressively without having too much trouble. So on the body lock pass, let's work with this very common situation where my opponent is seated here right in front of me. He has one leg standing, one leg on the bottom. Pretty common situation if you see a guard player trying to chase you. There's two things that might happen. One, two guys trying to take down, or one guy that is going to be pulling guard. Sometimes it's two guard pullers, but you wouldn't be doing this position if you're a guard puller. So let's imagine the guy here just pulled guard. He's on the stance. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start controlling one of the legs. Of course, I'm going to choose this side that I want to work on. So for example, if I want to work on this side, I'm going to be controlling this leg to avoid him from spreading his leg and getting myself caught on a close guard. So I want to be controlling one of the sides and then invading his space with my arm. A few things that I see. As soon as you invade his space, I want you to be positioned his hand, the palm, facing down. The reason why is because I will do my grip. And in order to do my grip, it's going to be better and easier for me to do it with my hand facing down. I'm going to enter. And as soon as I slide into his back, my grip's going to start facing down, all right? So control the foot. As soon as I control the foot, my arm and my knee are going to come in, kind of like I'm going to do a knee slice, but of course I'm not going to do the knee slice. I'm going for the body lock. And you see myself doing two things here right away. One, I'm going to be controlling his leg and positioning right between my legs so I can control this side over here. And then two, you're going to see myself bringing my thigh very near his shin. And the reason why is because if I just leave my leg on the back there, he's going to be able to start pushing me away, getting back on his stance, and then it's going to be hard for me to approach him once again. So as soon as I start doing the position, I'm going to do those two things. Push it, connect my thigh, and then I can start a pass. You see my hand is already facing down. If it was facing up, I would have some trouble sometimes just twist it and try to get it on the angle that I want to do the grip. If I do not switch my grip, there's no problem, but you're gonna have a little more trouble to do this pass on the way that I like to do, using the elbow, because you see, I don't have as much mobility to bring my elbow back here. But if I do it like this, my elbow's already down, so it's a little easier to bring it towards myself. It's kind of like a biological thing where here your elbow, you can't bring it as close to you. In order, you need to turn your thumb to bring it easier to you. So as soon as I got here to the body lock, I'm gonna start bringing my elbows inside. I can't just open up my elbows. If I leave too much space here on the elbows, you'll see that a guy's gonna start making some grips. He's gonna start pulling your arm up, and then you're in this position, and sometimes getting caught up on a shoulder crunch or something of the kind. And then you're gonna lose such a great opportunity. So in order for you to avoid that, do the grip, fine, connected. I'm gonna close my elbows, and my head is gonna be connected to his torso right here. I don't want distance. If I do create distance, he's gonna start pushing me away. That's a very common mistake that you see very often happening. So head down, connected, elbows down, and then now we can start working on our pass. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start walking to the side that I wanna pass. No moment you will see me disconnecting from my opponent. If I do create any space, as I said, he can start kicking you, opening space, and that's gonna be bad. So all the time that I'm gonna be walking connected. The reason why I'm walking towards this leg here is so that I can position the leg a little more down in order to access it with my elbow. I could use my leg, but you see sometimes legs, you need to have two things. One, a lot of stability and flexibility, but also this sometimes allows a person to grab your leg, and sometimes people end up losing their balance. So in order to avoid that, what I like to do is I like first use my elbow, push the leg down, so I can kind of make it easier for me to access with my leg without losing too much balance. I don't need to use a lot of flexibility, and this also prevents him from using a lot of strength because I'm basically spreading his legs apart. And the more you spread the human body apart, you see that it's a little weaker for him to work on. Legs are down, I'm gonna pass the leg over, bring it to myself, and the most common thing that's gonna happen here is that he's gonna close his half guard. And as soon as he closes his half guard, we're gonna start working on our body lock press now, applying some pressure towards his diaphragm right here, right? So I have this side connected. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch. And then another very good thing that you're gonna be working with this grip here. If you had this grip, you would have a little hard time to bring him to the other side. But whereas when I have the ass grip, I can literally just pull this arm to the other side and start working into the press another way. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. I have this side here connected, but you see, I can't keep applying pressure to the side because there's nothing anymore. I just worked on my way to the leg. Now I have the half guard. So I need to start applying pressure towards this half guard because if I don't do that, I'm gonna be off balance, it's gonna start working, and there's gonna be space between me and him. So in order to prevent that, boom, switch arms, now I'm on the other side. Very important now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect my shoulder right into the middle of his ribs. If you're having trouble finding that, just simply allocate it kind of like a little bit above the belly button and push it all the way up. Literally, you're gonna feel your shoulder touching both of his ribs, like here on the rib cage side, and you're gonna see your shoulder locking. As soon as you do that, you're gonna be preventing his lungs to spreading and getting some more oxygen inside. And that's gonna be pretty hurtful and also pretty uncomfortable for him on the bottom. Now that we're gonna start working with my press, I can just be on my knees, allow myself to go on my knees. This is gonna make sure that I'm not spreading enough weight because literally there's weight on my knees, there's weight on my shoulder, there's weight on my hands. I want all the weight to be on top of him. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a tripod. Shoulder down, up, and then I spread a little. I'm gonna start applying pressure, remove the leg, and then as soon as I see it's on the end, I'm gonna use my foot, open it up, and then get a pass. As soon as I get a pass, it's pretty important. Do not rush the position to go right away for the head. If you do that, most cases the person still has a lot of energy, they can push you, and then they can get out of the situation. We're working with no gi, so there's no grips, there's no gi, there's no friction. You need to make sure that you get to the situation, you make a pit stop. Get a hold of your opponent, make sure that he's tired, make sure there's no reaction anymore, and then you can go for the pass. So it's gonna be mostly pushing, trying to get in a good situation. You feel like you're comfortable, now you can work. Okay? As soon as I get here, I can start working on my way to the shoulder, controlling the hips, and getting to the pass. Most of the time, what I actually like to do and I enjoy doing is that because I'm only controlling the bottom part right here, his hips, my opponents, they try not to concede the side control and they start turning their backs to me. And that's literally one of my favorite situations because from here, I can just go for the back attacks, which is something that I love to do on the body lock pass. So as soon as they start turning, I actually kind of allow them to turn a little bit, just enough so that I can get to the side of their back. And then from here, I can go and start attacking. First off, I'm gonna release this hand here, but the hand on the grip, on the hip, is still gonna be trapping a little bit, just so I can access into the middle of his forearm, kind of like in between the forearm and the elbow. Now, as soon as I have this grip, second hand goes on the wrist, and then I'm gonna start pulling it towards myself. And then from here, you're gonna see that he's gonna be off balance, he's gonna be on his shoulders, and his back's gonna be totally exposed. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start positioning one of my hooks inside of the leg, position my hook inside of the leg. I'm gonna pull my knee all the way up to his shoulder, pull him to myself, and then basically we have the back attacks from here. One of my favorite submissions that I like to work on here, it's gonna be pretty simple. You've probably seen most of my Who's Number One matches, they end up on this situation right here, because I believe it's the position that it's basically kind of like a black hole. There's just no escape, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse until the person literally taps because they can't handle anymore. It's gonna be the one side, one arm, rear naked choke. So I'm gonna drop to the side that I have the opposite arm controlled. I'm gonna now start pushing this arm so I have some space, allowing myself to position my leg on top of it. You're gonna see, if the arm's closed, hard access. I need to open the arm, push it down. Now I'm gonna release the hand that is under armpit. I'm gonna push my leg right here into the middle of his elbow, and then I'm gonna pull his arm back. As soon as I do that, there's gonna be two free hands, and then his neck and his arm to work with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to attack his neck, and almost immediately you'll see there's gonna be a defense. If he tries to defend, If he tries to defend, he's gonna do what I want. He's gonna give me his hand. I'm gonna be doing a cross grip, give it to the same side, hand right here, and then now we have just two guys left, my arm and his neck. And we know that's not a very good combination for him. So I'm gonna start working with my hand all the way into his neck. Of course, it's not always gonna be as easy as you see here. Sometimes it's gonna be tucking his chin inside of his chest, and that's something that happens. So if he does like this, I'm gonna use the very hard part of my thumb. I'm gonna access through the chin right here, and then I'm gonna use the top of my head to apply some pressure. Those two things are gonna be working together. One pushing, the other one pushing on top, and sliding, kind of like I'm opening a can. And then we're gonna be doing little by little, little by little, little by little, until we have all the access to the neck. As soon as I feel like my forearm is already up to his neck, I can progressively get behind his shoulder, grab my full hand behind it, and then now I'm gonna start pressing. Mica, can I just press on the arm? No, if you just do this here, he still has some space right under my chin. So I'm gonna use also my head on the side of his head, like so. Pull it back, hold it, don't press it like too hard, and then he's gonna be tapping or passing out, right? So let me just do one more, a little more fast. So he's gonna be on this situation right here. One, controlling, finding, dominate, get to the side, connect. Got in here, I'm gonna start doing the pass now. Ass grip, walk, walk, walk to the side. As soon as I walk to the side, allow myself to get into the leg, pass the leg over. You see there's no disconnecting from my opponent. Got to the half guard, which was objective from the start. Now I'm gonna switch sides. Boom, switch it side, shoulder goes down, get to the diaphragm. Now I'm gonna lift my butt up, apply the pressure into my opponent, and then I'm gonna start freeing my leg. You see I twist it to the side, so I have the connection right here with his thigh. Twist it to the side, twist, 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 pressure, 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 release the leg, put the hook on, break it, get to the pass. As soon as I get to the pass, remember, he's not gonna allow you to pass right away unless he's just like not willing to fight too much. It might happen, but 99% of the times he's gonna fight. As soon as he fights, wait a little bit for him to work something, and then you can start on your pass. Or if you wanna be a little more, tricky, you can allow him to start turning because we're not controlling the top part. So he has a little more mobility on this area. So I'm gonna be controlling the hips. He starts moving to the other side, starts going for the back. I'm gonna control him a little bit. Get out on the other side, and then now from here is a very important situation. Before you start going right away for the back and allowing him to get far from you, we're gonna start with our grips. So first one, inside. Second one goes to the wrist. Now I'm gonna pull it to myself. It's gonna drop to the side. Hook goes in, knee goes in, pull him to myself. No matter how big or strong the guy is, he's gonna come because we're working with leverage. As soon as he gets here, drop to the side that the arm is on top, and then we can either put the hook on or we can work with the submission that I just showed. Push arm down, release it, pull the leg to yourself, and then connect it. As soon as you connect, do not just stop here. Here you're gonna be constantly working with your hamstring, and that's gonna be tiring. So pull it all the way to the back. If you're able to make things even easier, put this hook on his back, like so. This is basically gonna be trapping his arm, and then there's just no escape for him. Even if he tries to bring it, he doesn't stand a chance because his body won't allow him. There's literally a lot of arm on the way. His elbow is gonna be trapped under my hamstring, so he's literally with no escape at all. And as soon as we get here, sometimes the hand's gonna be far, he's gonna try to be fighting. I can just try to attack to bring his attention on, or if he's just close to me, grab it on the same side, pull it down, and then we can start working with the one hand or one arm rear naked choke. I'm gonna start opening I can, use the head to push to the side, go, little by little, open, and get all the way to the bottom of the side, grab behind the shoulder, and then now we're gonna start pressing. Don't just press on the top, otherwise you're gonna lose the position. So make sure you press on the top, push the head, pull to yourself, and hold it. Do something that you're gonna be able to keep at least for a bit. Remember, when you're working with chokes, you don't want it to be something that is gonna be tapping in 3 seconds. You want something that is steady, that's gonna make him pass out in just about 7 to 8, 9 seconds, all right? Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite positions, and I wanna see you guys doing it out there. Let's